making a lot of noise at AT&T Stadium.
Anything that moves between these lines, got to get dealt with.
10, 5, and he streaks in. Deep to the post to Lamb. At the 5, to the goal line.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
The Dallas Cowboys 2025 season comes to a close. 34-17 the final score. Cowboys fall to the New York Giants in the final week of the 25 campaign. Back with Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeoman. It's our final episode of Cowboys Game Night this season. Nate, I'm going to start with you. The Cowboys loss today was really a microcosm of what we've seen throughout the season. The defense struggles, offensive line struggles to protect. A couple takeaways is all it took for the Giants to take control of the game and then ultimately end up with the win.
Yes, I thought we would play better. We played both offensive and defensive lines the majority of the game. I thought we would play better. We shot ourselves in the foot with penalties, 9 for 94, which was not a good thing. The main thing is, Isaiah, you would say, Kyle, we got out of there scot-free with no major injuries.
That's the biggest takeaway for this game. This was a glorified preseason game. And I know but nobody wants to hear that at home, but that's what the mindset most likely was of a lot of these guys. They wanted to get out of it healthy. The coaches played some of their guys just to prove whatever point that they were trying to get across. I'm not even sure. Superstars were able to get out of it scot-free, which is awesome, but you're able to evaluate some of your other talent. You have some running backs in the stable that you can definitely rely on. Blue looked good. Maffa looked good. Both of those guys look like that's something that you can count on as far as young talent at that position going forward. Offensive line still kind of, iffy in terms of the consistency there. We've had musical chairs along that way. Defense. Area that has to be addressed, personnel-wise and potentially coaching. Inconsistencies there. But then you saw a little bit of a splash of Cavante Turpin. You saw him kind of have a resurgence and just reminded you what should be from that third of the game. So all in all, some good mixed in with some bad. That's what this season has been.
And, of course, the draft pick was up for grabs as well. The Cowboys slide down to the 12th pick. They could, of course, take the 11th pick with a Miami win over the New England Patriots. Patriots still playing all of their starters at the moment. Let's see how it unfolded. Dak Prescott and company with quite the winning streak against the New York Giants. Of course, rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, the starter for the Giants. 6-3, Giants up on top. They had just kicked a field goal to take the lead by 3. Cavante Turpin turns on the Jets, gets through a seam, and he has an opening down the left sideline. He would be tracked down from behind, but 84 yards on the return for the former All-Pro return man in the NFL, and it puts Dallas in the red zone. Couple plays later, Jaden Blue, his first touchdown of his rookie season. The former Texas running back puts Dallas up 10-6 after a Giants field goal. Dallas trying to increase their lead on 4th down and 2. Dak Prescott pressured out to the right, tries to find George Pickens. There was a holding call. Anyways, it's a turnover on downs after it's declined. But then look at this sequence inside the 2-minute warning. Donovan Ezeraku, another rookie standout. He has a sack. The Cowboys actually accepted a tripping penalty, which took a down away from Dallas. It would have been 2nd down and about 13. Instead, it was 1st and 15. So Dallas kept the drive going. So take that a couple plays down the line. And the Giants actually kept the drive going thanks to a Dallas personal foul penalty. Kenneth Murray pushes Tyrone Tracy after he's already on the sideline. The late hit out of bounds penalty and the personal foul gives an automatic 1st down. So that one tough to take for the Cowboys at the end of the 2nd quarter. It made it even worse when the Giants took advantage. How about this? Jackson Dart pressured again off the blitz. He shovels it to Bellinger, who now takes off. The big tight end rumbles from 29 yards out on 3rd down and 16. It was a 16-10 Giants lead at the break. At halftime, the Cowboys informed Dak Prescott that he is done for the year. They sit him for the entire second half. We'll get to that in a moment. Tyrone Tracy again, this time through the air, has a touchdown in the back of the end zone. It's 24-10 Dallas. But then the Dallas defense stepped up and showed some life late as Tracy has this ball forced free by Logan Wilson. Wilson puts it on the turf. It's recovered by Jadeveon Clowney, who had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery and 3 sacks in this game on the defensive side. Dallas still in it going into the fourth quarter, especially when Phil Maffa works his way into the end zone. Maffa with his first touchdown of his young NFL career. Dallas back within a score. The Giants would tack on a field goal. Cowboys still in it with just under 10 minutes remaining, but Joe Milton puts the final nail in the coffin by throwing an interception at the second level. Daniel Okereke comes up with the interception, and then a couple moments later, it's Montgomery that then pushes the pile into pay dirt. 34-17, the Giants on top of the Cowboys, and that would be the final score as the Giants get their first win over the Cowboys in 9 tries. The final stats brought to you by Miller Lite as the Cowboys defense struggles to slow down this Giants team. 380 total yards allowed. They controlled time of possession. They controlled the penalty yardage all the way through, dominated by the Giants in this one. When we come back on Cowboys game night, let's take a look at this Dallas defense. Was hopeful to see a step in the right direction. Maybe not the case, and some decisions looming on that side of the ball.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Cowboys season comes to a close, and the Cowboys defense, again, not impressive in the final week of the regular season. Back with Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback. Isaiah, when it comes to the Cowboys defense, it was more of the same on display. You struggled to slow down any sort of quarterback play. You failed to really get pressure on Jackson Dart, with the exception of one guy. His name was Jadeveon Clowney, who was incredible in the game. Where did you see the biggest downfall from the Cowboys defense, not only today, but really throughout the year?
Just no identity. You know what I mean? That's really the biggest thing for me. I don't know. From week to week, you don't know what to expect from in a positive manner from this defense. You don't know if you're going to get a positive pass rush. You don't know if you're going to get good coverage. You don't know if you're going to get pressure. Like, there's nothing that you can rest assured on that you're going to consistently see out of this defense every week, except for the negatives, right? You know you're going to see missed tackles. You know you're going to see bad lane assignment. You know you're going to see bad defensive back play and probably a lack of pass rush. They addressed the pass rush portion of it today via Jadeveon Clowney, but everything else has been what we expected all year long.
Yeah, you know, we brought in Quinn for 3 games. I thought we had addressed the run situation, but the last 2 games, it seemed like everybody's still back up to 140, 4.8 yards to carry. So right now, we're just sitting on hold, neutral, just to see what this offseason is going to bring. Defense got to get much better.
Got to be much better across the board. Plus, they have some decisions to make this offseason on who to bring back, possibly, because the Cowboys ultimately don't have the defensive prowess to go to across the board, Isaiah.
No, they don't. They have to figure out personnel-wise, and they also have to figure out their coordinator position. Do they want to retain Matt Eberflus and then simply just give him the personnel that he prefers, or do they need to address both? Because personnel has to be addressed.
And that's the first thing that they're going to have to talk about this offseason. One of those guys is Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney, ultimately a guy that's going to need some of that. He's going to need some of that cash to come back. We'll see what he earned and how he did it in this game. First 3-sack game of his career. We're talking about Jadeveon Clowney. We're going to hear from him as well when we come back with more Cowboys Game Night.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
Cowboys Game Night returns, and Jadeveon Clowney, how about his game today? A forced fumble recovery, 3 sacks for the first time in his career. Patrick No-C Walker of DallasCowboys.com has a story up on it right now. One of the top free agents, at least in terms of his veteran ability, trying to return to this Cowboys roster. We'll see if it's worth it. Let's see if he thinks it's worth it and how much he enjoyed being here in Dallas in 2025.
It's always the same. Go out there and play hard and finish. Finish where I started. I never quit on nothing, like I said. I don't care about the circumstances. The ball was hiked. Like I said, people out there coming to watch. Got to play for them.
I don't know if you know this, but that was your first 3-sack game you've ever had in your career.
I know. Believe me, I know. I keep up with all the. Dang, you ain't gonna tell me no, it's not. Yeah, man. It's cold out there, big boy. Yeah.
What's that mean to you?
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna keep playing. I feel good. Yeah, shit. Why would I quit?
about here? How much
Oh, yeah.
this place meant to you?
A lot, man. A lot. I enjoyed this season more than I have in the past few years. It was a blast. Even though we didn't win like we needed, I met a lot of great dudes in this locker room, man. They with a great mindset, especially in that D-line room. One of the special groups I've been with in my career, so I enjoy them guys.
You said you want to start earlier this year with the team, so are you looking to sign pretty quickly? Right situation, right, all about that. I got to let my agent do whatever he's going to do, but yeah, I want to go a little earlier than I did this year, of course, get in there, because I felt rusty when I first got going. I was missing plays, missing sacks, and I just want to get going early.
We see a little bit of the bond with you guys.
Oh, yeah, I love them boys. I got a lot of respect for them because the way they come to work, and they hold me to a high standard at practice. You know what I mean? It's hard to find guys like that. Just, hey, bro, you ain't on your shit today. All right, bet. Let me tighten up. That's why I like this group. They hold everybody accountable. And no matter about what round you went, what pick, how much money you made, we hold each other accountable, and we go out there to work and work extremely hard. And I hats off to this D-line because, man, it's been like that since I got here. I extremely work hard, and this stuff ain't came my way yet. And I feel like we keep working the way we're working, it's going to eventually come our way, happen the way we need it to.
Scotty's spoken about just the impact.
So Jadeveon Clowney, really happy with what happened throughout the year and how much growth was happening on that defensive front. This is a Cowboys defensive front that struggled throughout the year to get pressure on the quarterback, and you're perking up on something he said there. What was that?
The season's over.
Season is over.
His contract is up.
It is done.
He said things just haven't come our way. Mm-hmm. If we keep working the way that we've been working, things will turn up.
You think he showed his hand a little bit? On the future of what could happen.
Speaking a lot of French, Kyle, for somebody who doesn't have a contract currently as of right now. Right? So I'm just saying, just take an effort with a grain of salt. But I can tell you this. Jadeveon Clowney finishes of the year with 5.5 sacks. The last
8.5.
Oh, no disrespect. No disrespect.
Okay.
No disrespect. Sorry. I'm behind on my stats. 8.5 sacks. The last time he had a full 17-game slate, he had 9.5 sacks. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is this dude is productive currently, has been productive previously, and he's been consistent year in and year out. He's a hired mercenary. You would love for him to be a hired Dallas Cowboy going forward.
He came in here and sought the edge. We hadn't had that in a defensive end since our guy went to Seattle. You know, the guy that can just set the edge. He came in and dominated as a pass rusher and gave us constant pressure. He took advantage of Quentin Williams, who sits in the middle demanding double teams. I hope the Cowboys have the money to pay him. I really do.
Yeah, 1 year, $3.4 million, and of course he was signed after the season got started. So you could probably chalk it up as 1 for 4, right? So about $4 million a year right, if he were to play the entire season. So that was coming off of 5.5 sacks last year. Mm-hmm. Now he's had 8.5. Of course, a lot of that production came in the final 2 games when you were already out of playoff contention. I would anticipate that number probably being around 5.5, $6 million.
Yeah, I think
kind of where you're at.
I agree.
To bring him back for per year basis, do you do that?
I would gladly do that.
Yeah. Would you do that?
Without a problem.
There you go. So now you got our analysis. We'll see what happens this offseason. When we come back on Cowboys Game Night, let's take a look at the running back room. A couple rookies had not only a debut for Phil Maffa, but Jaden Blue with his first touchdown of the year. The rookie duo had some offensive output in New York.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today.
How about the Cowboys rookie duo at running back? Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa, both scoring a touchdown today. Been waiting quite a while to see both of those guys play an extensive period of time. Maffa making his NFL debut today. Looked pretty good. He did have the near fumble, but other than that, put up some solid numbers. Your thoughts on how the Cowboys rookies at running back fared?
You can't just say Phil Maffa. You have to say Maffa!
Phil Maffa!
Phil Maffa! You got to love everything that Phil Maffa did. Jaden Blue did a heck of a job as well. You understand why they're so excited about this young man. He's explosive, he's elusive, he's fast. There's aspects of his game that he has to address, but we saw why they love this young man out of Texas. He is very, very fast. I'm glad the offensive line blocked for him so that he could show off some of his skill sets. Now, for the power back. You have a 1-2 punch. You got Blue, who's your speed back, and then you got Big 37 Phil Mafa, who is your downhill back. You see how physical he is. Everything is downhill. It's one cut, and I'm running through your chest cavity. You love that, his ability to catch out the backfield as well. This dude is a problem. So if you had to move forward with just a 1-2 young punch, you have these guys under contract for a long time, and it covers all your bases.
I agree with you 100%. I tell you what, these are some young guys that can run the ball, that can do what they need to do, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
You got a couple guys that you want to bring back as well, Malik Davis and Javonte Williams.
Yep.
Saw a lot of tweets. I thought Nick Eatman had a great one talking about those that were saying, why haven't we seen Phil Maffa and Jaden Blue this year? Javonte Williams had 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Malik Davis was putting up 100-yard rushing performances over these last few weeks when filling in that role. So I think you didn't need the snaps. You didn't need that opportunity, but now you get to see a good look at those two guys. By the way, 5th rookie duo in franchise history to have a rushing touchdown in the same game. Last 2 Cowboys rookies to do that. Back in 2016, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Back in 2016, the last 2 rookies to score a rushing touchdown in the same year, or in the same game, rather. Now, when we come back on Cowboys Game Night, we're going to put a bow on this 2025 season, give you a look ahead to the Cowboys offseason as front office decisions loom and the Cowboys fall to the Giants on the road.
To watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T. Connecting changes everything.
34-17, the final from the Meadowlands as the Giants take down the Dallas Cowboys in the final week of the NFL regular season. The Cowboys season comes to a close at 7-9-1, and this is the lasting impact that the Cowboys see. It was a balanced attack, about as balanced as you could possibly have on their offensive side. Same could be said for the New York Giants. Back alongside Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Final segment of Cowboys Game Night. When you look back on the 2025 season, Isaiah, what's the number one thing you're going to remember about this rendition of the Dallas Cowboys?
Lack of, what's the word that I'm looking for? It wasn't, I can't think of the word.
Cohesion?
Right now.
Cohesiveness?
Anyways, offense balled out. Defense did not. Special teams was non-existent.
Complimentary football?
Yeah, complimentary football. There you go. Couldn't find the C word. Anyways, there was no complimentary football this year. And that was the frustrating part. If there was ever a time where you needed to see that one of your 3 elements of the game of football is amazing and the other 2 are not, it's not a recipe for success.
The word for me is unexpected. I didn't expect to lose number 11, who went to Green Bay. I didn't expect to lose both our corners. I expected a better team than this right here. I knew it wasn't going to be great. This is Coach first time Schottenheimer, but this was an unexpected season. I didn't see it going like this.
Yeah, it was one of those wild, weird seasons where you had an elite offense, you had a really historically bad defense. Let's just call a spade is what ended up being.
And underperforming special teams.
And yeah, your special teams unit wasn't as good as it has been in the past. So lots of things to consider going into the offseason. I don't blame you for forgetting that word. You haven't seen a lot of complimentary football this year. Haven't seen it a lot from the Dallas Cowboys.
Slip of mine.
Of course, we appreciate you tuning in week and week out as a part of our Cowboys Game Day coverage. Our final Cowboys Game Day show of the season now comes to a close. Special thanks to our entire Dallas Cowboys TV crew for putting up with us all season long and our antics across the board and for bringing you some fantastic content all year long. Once again, the final score in Week 18, the Giants take down the Cowboys 34-17, the final. For Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. We'll see you next season with more Cowboys Game Night.